guys, welcome back to another Heroes of Histaeria Sandsea Saga. Brought to you right here on the Delta Cryptid channel. We've got our wonderful cast of adventurers as we are about to delve into the next installment. So, my friends, y'all ready?
Actually, I'd like to make a quick announcement for Delta Cryptid if I could. So we are getting shockingly close to 100 subscribers, or like 77 as of today. Which is not a lot, but in the long scheme of things, but it's a lot for us, and it's fucking awesome. So if we get to 100, I want to do a little giveaway where I'll make you whatever OC character you want for the world of Sandsea, and if David wants to kill them, he can throw them in. It's up to him, of course.
That's awesome.
I feel like you guys are more likely to kill them at this point.
But yeah, so if we get to 100 subscribers, at least 3 of our subscribers, I'll make you an OC just by me. I'm the one who makes all the ones for the show you've seen so far. So yeah, let's get there.
Sweet.
Fuck, yes, please do it. And you know what? Just for shits and giggles, I want to make sure. Is there anyone in our party here that is not subscribed?
I think I did a long time ago.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'll be super embarrassed if I didn't.
Well, you guys can check that. If you are not subscribed, you lose an inspiration. But if you do subscribe, you get an inspiration. So you'll even out.
I'm subscribed.
I'm already subscribed.
Agile is conspicuously quiet.
I'm just thinking about, like, in a real life situation, someone's like about to hit a very dire, like a almost car accident, and they're like, "Oh, I have that inspiration from that DM."
he just waits until like the final, like, I just subscribed.
Yeah.
Give me my inspiration.
There you go. All right, dude, that's fucking awesome. All right, well then, let's give the people what they came for. So, during the last installment of our adventure, our fledgling crew set out to search for pieces of salvage of the Honor, the Yuan-Ti airship. Having just wrestled with the recent departure of your companion, Cress Estuary, and reconnecting with some of the denizens of the Frog Grove, you set out on your journey with Captain Idris Hispida in tow. The 2 items specifically that you were kind of hoping to find at the moment are the Sunweave sails and the power suit, the power armor, a suit of magical enhanced armor that you recently learned can fly. And so, after setting out, you explored an area that you had previously marked as promising, and there you were rewarded, in fact, with finding the Sunweave sails. It was set up, though, in a tangle of vines, a tangle that proved to be far more deadly than initially assumed. And after a thorny battle, the sails were secured, and further discoveries were made. Edenor and Lycus, you opened one of the giant-ass fly traps, and you recovered an injured, yet alive, Aarakocra. While Pim and Luna, the 2 of you discovered a melting corpse of a Yuan-Ti inside the other. So, we're going to pick up just at the edge of the battlefield here, carefully watching for quicksand. Your group has reconvened at the vehicle. Right, the sails have been stowed. The Aarakocra is shuffling nervously away from the corpse. Lycus and Edenor, the 2 of you still have about 9 minutes left on your abilities.
So just a quick thing. I forgot to ask when it happened, when we released the Aarakocra, because, things were happening.
Sure.
But, important question. Is he hot?
Yeah, I would say so.
Okay,
Here's the thing. Here's
One
the
second,
thing.
he says as he rolls.
Okay, never mind.
Was that am I going to hit on him?
Yes.
That's fair. That's fair.
Are feathers my thing?
Yeah, it's kind of hard to
The
tell,
dice decide.
what gender they might be. But as you kind of, pull them out, you can see, sleek feathers, sharp curved beak. Stands a little bit taller than you, right? Let's see. The head of an eagle with white plumage and sharp, quick eyes that are kind of now flitting from group member to group member. And they're dressed in what appear to be pretty hardy traveler's clothes. There's a heavy scarf kind of looped around the neck, right? And you can see they're clutching a fairly large leather satchel closely to their chest. the wingtips are just this kind of like bright white, while most of the feathers, aside from the face, are kind of a deep coffee brown. Yes, but a quick investigation or medicine check. If you're proficient in either, you can make a roll. If you're not, you have to sit this one out.
On Aarakocra or the corpse, or both?
On the Aarakocra at the moment.
Okay.
Is it
Luna and I
investigation
are
or
still
what?
over by the corpse, I think.
Yeah.
Or medicine?
On opposite end.
Sure.
Yep, somewhere there. So I should take a look. That is a 19.
The 19, you can easily see the wings just along the edges, right? By those kind of longer feathers, it is melted. Right? You can see sections of the wings, as you guys have recently seen. When you cut open the plant, there's kind of like an acidic substance at the base that digests what the plant manages to capture. And the bottom of the Aarakocra's wings seem to have been affected by that acid.
So would you say he's bloodied or?
Sure. Yeah, I would say they're bloodied.
Okay.
Yeah. They definitely don't look great.
All right. So initially, I'm going to cautiously walk up. I mean, like flap my wings a couple times, showing that we're wing buddies. You know.
Okay.
Is it a display of dominance?
They don't. Their wings are kind of tightly furled in, clutching satchel to them, chest. They are kind of looking around. Hello. Nice. Thank you for saving.
Yes, you're looking a little rough there. Give me just a moment. And I'm going to gently lay a hand on their shoulder and say a couple words to Tazarin and give them 10 hit points.
As you touch the shoulder, light kind of, cascades from the hand. As it connects, there's a rejuvenation that occurs, and the Aarakocra is healed for 10 hit points.
I think Pim from the opposite end at this point will yell, "Is everybody okay?"
It seems to be over here, and we found a friend.
So did we.
Oh,
Ah, friend!
Idris maybe want to
Send them over.
It might be. Let's see what they found.
You're gonna have to come this way.
Oh, they must be tired. I'll come over.
Okay. The group of you shuffle over, passing, the dead remains of the vines, unmoving now as it is lifeless, but still just kind of cascaded across the slopes. The other man-trap plants just kind of in ribbons, cut open from Lycus's claws and Pim's blades. And as you kind of make your way across, you see Luna and Pim standing over the mostly melted remains of a humanoid figure that they've extracted from the plant.
So does this figure look like it has or had orange scales? Does it look like it could be zinc?
Roll a investigation check. Prepare
I don't
roll
have
one
my
with
dice
advantage.
out.
Yeah, I'm gonna roll on that as well.
Some music.
Not good at all. It's a 7.
I've my investigation is pretty solid. 14, yeah.
14? 14 ain't bad. 14 ain't bad. So, with the 14, yes, you can see some remnants of the scales. And Luna, Pim, you got pretty low. What was it? 7?
7.
Okay. You try to make your way close to it, right? But there's just this kind of acidic kind of scent coming off of it that kind of burns at your nostrils and kind of causes you to wrinkle up your nose, so you don't quite get a great investigation. Luna, on the other hand, you are, much taller than Pim and standing over and above the fumes and able to look down, and you can see, yes, there is some kind of orangish, scalish coloration to parts of the neck that are not melted away. Most of the face is still kind of intact, though the lower parts, or kind of the thinner parts, the skin is like content warning. Skin is like sunken in and patchy and oozy still. The scent is particularly nasty. The clothes are pretty much just like shells of bits now.
Any objects on them?
With your investigation check, you don't see squat. But Luna, as you look across, you see a couple of things. You see, it looks like there are 2 rings on the left hand. And it looks like there is a gold chain.
Do either of them appear magical?
You'd have to come into contact with them to tell if they're magical.
Do you think that this could be zinc?
I have a very good feeling it is. We'll see when Idris
The
passes
group
by.
approaches. Idris kind of, sees the body, and he goes. He kind of slows at your side, like a shit. Looks like one of mine.
I'm sorry. Just like just a hand on his shoulder.
Sorry, buddy.
Comes in, kneels close with his mask on, the stone mask. The fumes and stuff don't seem to really bother him. He looks across. Yes, this looks like zinc. My engineer. This is unfortunate. This is most unfortunate. Did you see? And he kind of turns to yourself, Pim, and Luna. Did you have to see if the amulet was on him?
All we found was 2 rings and a gold chain.
And you haven't touched them. They're still on the corpse at the moment?
Yeah.
Okay. Kind of stretches over, looks inside the plant, starts looking around and seeing if he can find the amulet. You are free to investigate the corpse at your leisure right now as well. You've also, Pim and Luna, you also spy that as the crew have kind of walked up, there's an Aarakocra slightly taller than Lycus, much shorter than Edenor, hunched over as previously described, clutching the satchel, and just kind of shivering and looking around.
Who is this bird man?
Oh.
We found them.
Yeah, that is a good question, though.
Oh, yes, what is your name, sir? Or madame?
Call me Ashara.
Shara.
Ashara.
Sean.
Nice to meet you. I'm Edenor.
I don't know.
My name's Pimenian Ackle, but my friends call me Pim.
My name is Lunazra. My friends call me Luna. But we're not there yet.
Lunazra.
And I'm Lycus D. Stratus, captain of these 3.
Lycus D. Stratus.
So, how did you... Well, do you know Idris? Are you familiar?
Idris calls over. I'm afraid I haven't had the pleasure. And he kind of rejoins. He says, no luck. The medallion doesn't seem to be here. The amulet doesn't seem to be here.
Well, Ashara, was it? Ashara, how did you come to be here?
I was... Looks around. Flying south when a storm got in my way, and I was forced to land. Then I was attacked by these vines, and shortly after, I was trapped in this flower. Ruffles the feathers.
Were you traveling alone?
Unfortunately, yes.
You're not able to see that the plants are alive before landing on it.
I'm afraid I don't get out much.
I'm sure our friend here noticed it as much as you did, Luna.
Where are you flying south from?
Or towards?
I hail from the mountains to the north. Among the folk of fur and feather.
Is your community doing well?
Not as well as it used to once, but there have certainly been many disturbing things that have captured our attention. Insight check from those proficient in insight.
Hey,
Half
like me.
half proficient counts.
Yeah, you're a bard. You pretty much can do anything you want.
Natural 1. Yikes.
I got a nat 20, baby. First of the day.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got 19.
I'm feeling
I also
queasy
got
from
19.
this acidic smell.
Yeah.
It's a 23.
Let's see this
Okay.
bullshit.
So those of you above a 12,
Yeah.
you spy as they are kind of talking to you. Their eyes kind of flitter from each crew member who, whenever somebody speaks, it's very quick. But there is another place that their eyes periodically keep checking, and it is behind you all, just towards the western horizon.
Is something the matter?
Looks like a storm. Sure enough, as you glance back off to the west, you can see that storms are indeed brewing. Not unfamiliar. You've seen the skies seem to be darker, kind of in that area before. You know, it's something that Lycus you've picked up on when you were heading to bed. It looks like it's building, and Ashara is just kind of clocking it constantly. Eleanor, you can tell that the storm is making it quite nervous.
Okay.
Storm on the
looking at looking at the storm, do I have a gauge of like how long we have until it starts getting to us?
That would be a survival check if you are proficient. I think. If you, and this is a check any of you can make at this moment. If you're proficient in survival, you can look at the horizon and try to make a gauge
not.
as to
Why
how much
not?
time you might have.
Oh,
Did I use-
it's really good. Total of 20.
Total
Never
20. Okay. Yeah, you can kind of tell Pim.
I see everyone glancing over to the west, and I look out there.
And there's just kind of like, so you'd spend some time at sea, Pim. Like you've sailed around with your folks and stuff like that. You've lived a life of adventure, and you've learned a few things from like Shadin, the Dragonborn captain of the Water Drake. And one of those things was to kind of watch the horizon and how to read the sky. You can tell you've got about 3 hours.
Oh, okay. This storm is moving pretty quickly, you guys.
It is moving quite quickly as the winds are kind of like, you can see the sky is especially kind of like way out. You can't even see it. It looks like it'd be over the Frog Grove is where it would be about right now.
Does it look like a natural storm, or does it look like there's some sort of magical influence?
This looks like a storm.
Okay.
Looks like a kind of like a again.
Is it similar to the
yeah,
last storm that
similar
we
to the
heard
last
from?
storm?
Yeah. How
Okay.
long was the
They seem to be
drive
pretty active.
to get? How long was the drive to get here? To get back to the village, it would take.
The drive here, I was trying to do the math in my head. So you guys, and Nigel, this is.
I think this was 2 hours to get
I think it's
here.
2 hours.
Okay.
to get here.
Because
Yeah.
you guys move, let's see, 9 hours. You can do 90 miles. I think it's.
No, because I'm keeping track of it. I'm just deducting whenever we go. So like we're at 17 total now. We were at 19 total hours of
Yeah.
travel.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
So
we'll say 2 hours.
we should probably not spend more than an hour out here. This storm is going to hit within.
And just so you know, also
give
Lycus
3
and
hours or so.
Edenor, Lycus and Edenor, you guys
Time.
are halfway through your abilities.
Gotcha. Yes. One last thing before I must do something. Why do you clutch your bag so fervently? We're not going to rob you.
It's all I have left.
Just research something to help your people. Just curious.
Nothing dangerous. If that's what you're worried about.
Edenor, don't pry.
we could find out more at the
Through a
camp.
lot.
That is fine. Yes, you have been through
Oh.
quite a bit. I just like to know things. All right,
Look,
I am going to
wait,
take a little
wait.
swing. Yes.
Ashara, have you seen
a large metal suit or pieces of something like that.
Or a medallion.
No. Huh?
Oh,
I can't
do you-
recall.
No worries. Do you know
I'm
how
going
long
to go
you were
fly
in
and
that?
try and find it.
See,
And I'm just going to zoom up and use my 5 minutes.
All right, you're taking off. You guys on the ground, anything you'd like to do before I
I'm
move
reaching,
over?
going, looking for the 2 rings and a gold chain.
Okay, so you kind of pull those off of the body. As you
You're
do,
looting poor.
Idris was
Idris'
doing
is-
it too.
as you kind of go to take them off, Idris doesn't stop you, but certainly doesn't appear to seems to notice. You pull off the chain. It's just a gold links of a chain. You pull off the rings. One of them is a sort of like heavy jade stone ring. And that vaguely, and it has, so the jade stone kind of wraps around a sort of like red ruby just in the center. This ring appears to be magical as you handle it. The other ring is a simple kind of black obsidian colored band. Does not appear to be magical. Heavy, but not magical.
And the gold chain was just a gold chain.
Gold chain is just gold chain.
I put my glasses on and I say, Luna, would you mind if I took a look at that ring with the gems on it?
I forgot you can do this.
I forgot that you have a knack for this as well. Go ahead. Take a try. And I'll hand her over the jade ring with the
Glasses on.
ruby.
And I take a peek at it and I cast Identify.
Okay, identify. You can tell then, Pim, that this appears to be a ring of mind shielding.
Pim says that out loud.
While I think you learned the effects of it, right?
I learn the School of Magic properties, how to use it, whether it requires attunement, how many charges it has, if any spells are affecting it. Do you want me to copy and paste this?
It's alright. I'm just gonna give you the thing.
You get the whole kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you just
get
get
the
it.
I learn what it is and what it does.
Yep. So I'm just going to give you the D&D, or you could look it up in D&D Beyond. It is a ring of mind shielding.
Okay.
This is a cool, nifty object. But I think I go over to Idris. I think this should probably go to you.
Nigel panics and wizard.
He was your friend. He was your friend, your crew. So it's a ring that protects your mind from influence.
He did spend a lot of time amongst the Kalishtar. I'm not surprised. Thank you. And he holds his hand out for you to put the ring in it, and he takes the jewelry. Do you just give him that one ring? What about the other rings?
I'm handing over. Yeah, I was gonna do that.
Yeah, totally.
So,
Stows them away in his coat.
What
And
does the amulet look like? What is it that we're looking for exactly?
the amulet that controls the power armor.
Correct.
It is a gold, and it is a kind of gold plate. It's got some jade trimming.
How big is it?
It's about the size of, he kind of holds up his hand, maybe a few inches, I would say, like that big. A little bit bigger than that.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. However,
Okay.
what would that be? I don't know. It would be heavy to wear on the neck, certainly. Like you wouldn't wear it just any old
Yeah.
time, but definitely when you're going to be doing this, doing stuff with it.
Okay, well, I guess we should look around.
Luna, roll a. You have keen mind. Roll a history check real quick for me.
That is a high number. 24.
As Idris is describing this with a 24, the DC on this I'm going to say was high as fuck. DC on this was high. With a 24, you are thinking about, as he's describing the size of it, the look of it, you know, and as he kind of gets to like the jade trimming, something just kind of jogs your memory. And for a moment, you just have a flash of seeing something familiar, actually. You saw it back when your company first head out into the jungle. It was when you had encountered the raptors. There were some flying monkeys, and one of them escaped with an item in its possession.
Yep. Oh, fuck.
Idris, I think I have an idea where this amulet may be.
And on that note, we are going to cut to Edenor, who is...
Can I just say one more thing? Because it's...
Sure.
Yeah, okay. Idris with the ring, I just tell him, you know, this ring is pretty special. You might be able to communicate with Zinc if they passed while they were wearing it. I'm not really sure how, but I know that it's possible.
Looks at the ring, goes, information that Zinc has would certainly be useful for us at this moment. Hands it back to you, Pimp. If you think you can communicate with you, if you understand how, I will trust you to do so.
I will certainly do my best.
And so you have the Ring of Mind shielding for the moment.
Okay.
Edenor, you are flying high. Roll us a perception check.
Okay, I'm gonna roll it. 1 second though. Who just shut up?
While
While
you're
you're doing that, I'll be back.
Yeah, while Edenor is doing this.
Oh shit.
And they're all,
What are the
talking.
timing?
While they're all investigating this stuff. Can I pull the Eric Crocker over for a moment and have a little quick chat?
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of
Yeah, I just want to pull
watches,
over.
sees them kind of, you see them kind of observing everybody and then kind of like sitting there just kind of watching the horizon, and you come over and pull them over. Yeah.
Hey, so you said you were kind of on your own?
Captain Lycus, yes. The moment,
Well.
but yes.
Are you heading back to your home, to your community?
One day. Not yet.
Okay. Just so you know, there is a community nearby. We are helping it rebuild. If you and your people might need some more help, maybe we can help each other sometime.
This sounds promising. I would very much like to meet this community you speak of.
Well, stick with us. We'll be home sooner than later.
He looks to the horizon. They look to the horizon and turns to you and says, I would suggest sooner.
Yes, don't worry. We've dealt with these stores before. We'll make it out.
Roll an insight check again. At advantage, because now you've kind of gotten a bit of a read on this person before, and you've now spent some quality time.
All right. Insight. That's 15.
15. At the mention of dealing with the storm before, you see there's kind of a spark of curiosity in their eye as you walk away.
Ooh.
Perception check, Edenor.
Yes. So that is a. I think I just have a +1, right? Yep. That is a 14.
The 14, okay. With 14, you can get a view, you get high enough You can get a view of like about 6 miles-ish in every direction, right? With the 14, a couple of things catch your attention. Let me just pull up the map.
No.
A moment. Okay. No, not my version. I want the PC version. Thank you. Okay. Okay, to the north, directly north ahead of you, you can see what looked like.
Are you sharing the map or
no,
just
not
describing?
Yet. Just describing
Gotcha.
for now.
Okay.
As you go kind of straight up from where you're at, you get high enough where you can kind of see there's a cliff face directly to the north, up, and that's kind of like right where you guys are the foot of that cliff face.
Gotcha.
Going up, you can see within about 6-7 miles, there seems to be some kind of large stone ruins. It's hard to kind of make out the shape, but you can see like large stone like columns kind of in the dirt, kind of coming out of the earth just beyond like some trees and some forest. It looks like some dense forest and stuff to kind of get there, some real bushwhacking. Up and around though, for the rest of it, most of it appears to be just like desert sands to the south, but to the northeast. So as you kind of go up to the northeast, you see that there is a clearing, right? You see there's a clearing up there, which is kind of like a path up around the cliff. It looks like a kind of a slope, a gradual slope that you could use to navigate to the high ground. And as you look at this clearing up ahead, you can see that you can see there's like just a trickle of smoke coming from it. A small little wispy trail of smoke climbing.
Would it be like kind of like a campfire smoke, or like
possibly? It's hard to tell. It's just a small little bit of smoke that just kind of gets right up above the dense trees, and then the wind kind of catches it and disperses it. So you just barely, you can't quite tell much more than it's there.
Gotcha. Okay, and that's kind of like all I'm seeing. I don't see anything shiny or anything like that.
No.
Okay. So I'll swing around for those like 5 minutes, maybe try and get a little closer if I can at like 2.5 minutes, then swing back.
Okay. Yeah. You won't like take fall damage. You'll just fall slowly, so you can be as high as you want when it ends.
And then just glide back.
And just kind of, yeah, so you just kind of fall, I think, at like 60 feet a second or something.
Okay.
So
I'll just go really high and then I'll just glide back slowly.
Do you want to know how high you can go?
I guess we can do the math.
Right, we're not going to do the math on that.
Yeah.
You get significantly
I can do the math
higher
later.
up. And as you kind of drift down, the ruins, right? As you kind of drift down, you take your time kind of drifting back to the party. The ruins, you can see, I'm just going to give it to you because you're just kind of floating around now. The ruins do appear to be like large stone ruins. And as you get closer, you can see they're kind of, they kind of go up the slopes, and there is a cleft in the cliff face, and it looks like there's a cave, and there's some sort of entrance there. And as you kind of continue to drift around, you pass over where that little trickle of fire was, that little smoke. And as you get over, you can see that there seem to be... Actually, roll a perception check here at advantage, because you're higher up. This one's tricky.
Oh, he was so close to just giving it to you.
Almost.
Yeah.
So that's a 19.
19.
I'm glad I had advantage because it would have been 3 otherwise.
Yeah, well, you spy what appear to be bodies laying in the jungle around. They're kind of scattered around the campfire, and with a 19, you can see that these bodies are not necessarily all whole. They look like some of them look mangled. Like there's a torso in one area, there's an arm in the other area. Some pieces just missing. It's hard to tell without getting closer, but it looks like there was a little camp here that was attacked.
I see. Got a feeling it's got something to do with our raptor, but we'll see.
Let's see. You make it back down to your rest of the crew. I'll say the rest of you guys are now by the vehicle, right? Sail, Idris, Lycus, Pim, Luna, whoever wanted to assist, you guys would have had enough time while Ednor's doing his shenanigans. So you get the sails kind of like stowed away, at least on the ship, on the vehicle, but let's see how secure. So I will say whoever is proficient in sleight of hand, you can go ahead and roll a check. Okay, Pim? You could roll with advantage, assuming the other guys helped you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that will be. One sec.
Or cinch that thing tight.
15.
15.
Oh, no.
I got,
Yeah, 15. Yeah.
I got a 22.
Excellent.
So, the two of you are able to get this quite secure. You feel like it's quite secure. And Lycus, as you guys are kind of going, you notice that Pim knows their way around these ropes. Like, you can see there's like some practice to it. I mean, being a sailor yourself, you know, you can kind of see what looks like a good knot, right? And it looks like Pim's actually got some proficiency here.
Proud pirate sounds.
How'd I do, Captain?
I'm actually wonderful. I thought I would have to teach you all how to do even the most basic knots, as he makes like a real, like, like a Boy Scout-esque knot.
There's a square knot.
Just like, yeah, classic little square knot.
Oh, square knot. Classic.
You see like a shine in his eye, like almost a tear, like, I love people who know their knots.
I also, when I'm done with that, I'm going to put the ring on and just kind of wait for a second.
You'll begin attuning. It does require attunement, which is
Gotcha.
an hour.
Okay.
You have to kind of focus on the ring for the next hour.
Okay.
You can say you put it on. You can sit back and start kind of working on that. As you guys are getting ready to travel. But just before you kind of like, once you've got things packed up, you see Edenor floating his way down. Edenor, what does it look like as you float down? You don't have your wings anymore, so you're just floating man.
So I kind of like, you know how Superman looks as he's like coming down, like one leg up a little bit, kind of like just
okay.
Just coming straight in.
Yeah. Scarves and belts and sashes and capes just kind of like fluttering in the breeze as he kind of makes his way down. And as he kind of just comes to the ground, just immediately, casually, boom, goes straight into stride as though it was completely intentional.
Yes.
Luna, do you think he poses on purpose, or is this just like the natural way people fall?
Oh, he's just a big show off.
So, Edenor, you reconvene with
So,
What'd you see, Edenor? Did you find it?
well, I'm not sure if I exactly found it or not. I did notice a large set of ruins with a cave to the north of us, and then, which was quite interesting. But another part that I did see was, it looked like a destroyed camp with multiple creatures. It looks. I'm wondering if it was this raptor that we were hunting, or will be hunting, because there was multiple bodies in various states of completeness, if you know what I mean.
This could actually be good news and part
Yes.
bad news.
Bad news for whoever's there, that's for sure.
Sure. But they're dead, so it doesn't matter as much right now. The bad news, the
Fair
good news
enough.
is the amulet that we are looking for was, if you all would recall, on one of those flying monkey creatures we saw in the jungle.
Oh,
The
what
raptor.
a throwback!
I almost forgot about those guys.
And I pull out some feathers that I plucked from them.
These ones?
Correct.
I pull out a little bit of monkey jerky that I've been saving for just such an occasion.
Those ones.
I would. Okay, wait. Let me get through this part first. So the good news could be the monkeys could be in this direction or consumed by the raptor. So if this is the raptor, it would be
Then
in
we
this
just
vicinity.
have to cut it open.
We have to cut it open anyway to get the heart, so.
Save
We
some
might
of
as well
that.
get some meat too.
Save some of the monkey because our wolf boy here has a very good sense of smell.
Ah,
Got you.
true.
But
I'm not sure how long we'd be able to search for with the storm coming in. Maybe we.
Well,
which is the bad news.
We should definitely head back, and then
I think so
we'll
too.
just have to hope that the trail doesn't go too cold while we hunker down.
How far away is the little encampment that you saw? That you saw?
Yeah, I guess you didn't quite give me the distance, but I think it was like 7 miles for the
Ruins. 5 miles from
ruins.
the camp.
5 miles for the camp.
Damn, how fast are you, Ednor? Fuck.
I got really high.
got good
And I'm
eyes.
pretty fast.
Well, if that fire was still burning, then it must have been really recent or somewhat recent.
I'd imagine so, which is the unfortunate part of us not getting on the hot trail, but also at the same time being caught out in a sandstorm.
Hey,
Is also not wise.
This
Especially
storm-
with Luna's condition. I smack Luna in the back.
What do you mean?
Because Luna's pretty beat up.
Oh, sure. Well, didn't you guys come from the west? When you first came to the Gripply village?
Well, I guess kind of, but we weren't really looking out the windows. We were kind of really high up in the air.
Okay.
Yeah,
I just wondered
recall-
if you saw anything over there.
Where we came from?
Yeah.
Is that what
or
you're asking?
On your way here?
Oh,
I don't know. It just.
I don't believe a storm ever came up on the way here, but we did leave behind a storm, self-created.
Yes.
What do you mean by
By
that?
someone's ex.
Looks towards Lycus.
Yes.
Whenever you say ex, you always know it's Lycus.
Well, we could try to collect the spear. Maybe it's causing some of these storms.
The spear? There's a spear?
Yes,
feel like we should have a
connected
campfire
to some
night.
evil god. It created a storm.
Interesting. You
Yes.
want to tell me the story on the way back?
I would love to.
Yes.
Perception checks, please, from the group.
That's
Not good.
8.
Yeah, 7.
You don't see it.
15.
You see it. Lycus.
Same.
Lycus and Pim, as you guys are kind of getting into the vehicle, you, just as you were moving closer, you notice Ashara, head cocked, keenly listening to your guys' conversation as you approach, kind of straightens up and tries to look casual.
About our conversation about the spear specifically?
Your conversation you guys were just having.
Oh, okay.
You're not sure what part, but
Before we
seems to have
go,
been zeroing in. So, let's see. It is the group of you and the sails in the vehicle.
I'll put on my sunglasses.
Things are getting a little tight, though. Hang on.
so we're
Wait,
going
so
back to the camp.
We're going towards the storm. Is the storm also coming towards us?
Yeah.
Because then we don't have 3
So,
hours.
yeah, we got to go now then.
So, I'm just trying to work out the logistics here. Pim is pretty small, right? So I think we can probably have Pim. So who's riding shotgun with Luna? Luna's driving, I'm assuming.
Can Idris and the Orokra fit in the cabin?
In the front, or the
Yeah.
the truck tray for sure. The front I will say can fit 2 medium-sized creatures, and maybe Pim can squeeze in there, but Pim can
I was-
possibly get in the way.
Is
I
there
was
a
gonna
back
sit
seat?
on top
No.
of this sail
Gotcha.
in the
You're gonna
back
sit on top of the sail.
to
Okay.
kind of keep it patted down.
Sure. Okay. Makes sense. All right. We'll take a check for you to hang on there. So then, in that case, we can have kind of Lycus, Ashara, Idris in the back, Pim hanging onto the sails, and Edenor and Luna up front in the cabin. All right. Okay. So you guys are in. And that was a 15 and a 24 on the checks, right, for the lashing of the sails.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right, so I'm going to say that sail has those 2 knots that are doing the bulk of the holding on, at least at the moment. We'll see if that becomes relevant.
And as I'm sitting there just with a spare piece of rope, I'm just going to practice knots while we drive.
Sure. Okay. You guys are just at capacity here. Okay, but you start taking off. Luna, let's get a Arcana check.
Can I give them advantage with like a survival check to make sure they have like?
That's gonna be a separate check. That's gonna be a separate check.
I have this as a 9 plus 7, 16.
It holds up. This is also a route you've traveled before, so 16 is fine. Right, you're able to kind of get on the road without too many issues. You're taking off fine. Lycus, let's get a survival check at advantage because again, this is a route you've traveled before.
Cool. That's a nat 20, my baby.
Oh, yep. You're able
Make
to
sure
kind
we
of
don't-
call out, very accurately, like, okay, just around this pile, this fallen tree over here. Take a left by this guy. That kind of
Quicksand,
shit.
too?
Yeah, you were able to navigate around the quicksand that Lycus was able to scout out earlier for you. Okay, you guys are making your way towards the thing. So you guys have one more hex. It's only about 2 hexes away. So first one is fine. One more check from the two of you. Arcana and survival.
This is where we all blow up.
This is not good.
You got inspiration,
Yes.
don't you?
I think I don't have it clicked, so I think I might have used it at some point.
And I have it clicked. I'm going to say it's used.
It's the worst possible result.
Oh no.
Lycus, what did you get?
Let's see. Total of 16.
16. Lycus, yeah, you're able to kind of keep the heading going pretty well. As you guys are kind of going by, though, there is a part where, the ledge kind of, from the repeated weight, now with the added weight of the sails, maybe, it's kind of, it just can't hold the vehicle as it's going, because you've got a natural 1, right, Nigel?
Yeah, it's 8 total.
It's an 8 total, so this section of the road that you're going on kind of gives way, kind of crumples underneath the vehicle, and you guys are going like sideways, and you kind of now are lodged into a tree. Pim, I need a dexterity saving throw at disadvantage, please.
Okay.
Actually, no, at advantage.
Advantage.
Sorry. Neutral. That's what,
Final
that's what I
answer.
meant to say. Final
Okay.
answer, neutral. What'd you get right there?
Then it's a 19.
A 19 is fine. As it kind of crashes, the hood just kind of jams up against a tree stump. You kind of hanging onto the top of the sail. You were about to get launched, but you've been fiddling with the rope earlier. And you're able to, you just happen to have a pretty solid notch right then and there that you kind of goink, kind of hold on, and you kind of just slide up along the sail. You don't fly forward.
Great.
But you guys are, car stopped, kind of, the front of it somewhat crunched against a tree stump, dented in. It looks fine structurally, but it looks jammed where it is. It's going to cost you guys. We'll need some checks to see how much time this is going to cost you guys.
And so since we're kind of like on a corner thing,
Yeah, you're kind of like sideways.
if I burnt my my second wings to get under it and kind of like push, would that help? Because it's like, it's kind of like on the edge, so then they pull as I'm pushing from underneath.
Like
Know
this
what I
thing?
mean?
I will say,
Because this is how I'm imagining that we're towards like a cliff edge that kind of crunched off.
yeah. So you're kind of like almost like at a 45, right? The
Mhm.
axles are kind of like pressed in on one part.
Oh shit, this is much more serious than I thought.
Yeah, you guys are like, and then there's kind of like a tree stump just at the front of the car, and you guys are kind of like wedged in like a V between the tree stump, some landslide, and the vehicle, right? So as you're sitting in the vehicle, you're going from sitting like this to kind of sitting like this.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Well, we hop out, take a look. Oh dear. You guys
And you
feeling
say
strong?
You can drive.
Something must have gone wrong with the axle or the ABS system.
Yeah. Yes, I'm sure.
So
I see you've been reading the manual.
it looks like we
Edit,
need to
memorize.
pull it out
Like this-
somehow.
Like this with
Dislodge
your
it.
previous survival check, you have about an hour before the storm starts to hit. The sky is turning dark.
We've only got an hour left. It might be best if we try to hunker down for the storm rather than spend the hour freeing this from here. Because
We'll give you guys this as well. Granted, it is navigating through a storm. Let me just pull you over to the map real quick. You are in. I want to show you which hex you guys are in.
One hex away.
Yeah. So you guys are the vehicle right there, right?
Yeah.
You guys are right here.
We're almost there.
You're
So
one
we
hex
just
away.
need to get loose.
Yeah, so the drive would be what, like?
We're like 6 miles, less than
45
6
minutes?
miles ish away. Yeah.
Oh,
you're
not even.
You're within. You're close to like walking distance away, but keep in mind you've got sails. You've got an
Yeah.
injured Aarakocra with you.
I think
Yep.
we should give it a shot. I think we should try to dislodge. You got your arms? Those cool like arms that come out of your soul?
yeah.
You should. And Ednor, you're really strong. And Luna, you're super smart. Maybe you can like figure out some leverage and I can help
Pivot.
you with that. I'm just gonna give everyone bardic inspiration.
Nice.
Thank you.
Nice job, Tim.
Let's try it,
Finn.
guys.
Take an inspiration yourself.
Okay. Thanks.
All right.
Well,
Any ideas?
Inspiration.
Inspiration. So,
If
I could fly up from underneath it. If someone wants to pull from the other side, we just have to get loose.
I would say, Max, just because I don't want you to.
Yeah.
I mean, I appreciate that you're willing to
Yeah.
invest in ability in this, but I think you're already going to get advantage from everybody kind of helping in some
That's
way.
fair.
I don't want you
Okay.
to burn something that you could need later.
That's
Who knows? You know? I'm not trying to tell you how to play, but I want to
Yeah,
be
that's
fair.
Okay.
I would
cool.
say all we need to do is get the back tires leveraged onto the ground, and I could be in the car reversing to give it that extra motion.
Okay. So if we have some extra rope, then with at least 2 points we can pull, hopefully, and then you'd be ready to, as I've heard some individuals say, gun it once ready.
Yeah.
That is the correct term.
He just looks at you. Where did you hear that?
In my travels.
Certainly an interesting expression.
I
So-
have been around a few times.
So I have the briefest question about the vehicle we're in. You said it looks like the Warthog from
Yeah.
from
From Halo.
yeah. So
Can
there
I
should
just
be.
press X to flip it?
You're right.
So are there any like hitch attachments for the front? Like maybe not the actual like hitch claw, but like something to that we can attach
Yeah.
rope to.
I would say yeah.
In that case, I want to attach some ropes to there and throw them up around the trees, and then me and Ednor can try to just full strength pull back,
Sure.
try and get that pivot point.
Sure. Okay.
And then
Okay.
like Luna said,
Alright.
like gun it.
I like this. Okay, so we've got a little bit of a skill challenge thing going here. Pim is
Yeah.
going to be sitting there kind of cheering everybody on, kind of inspiring them
guys,
as you
go.
go. Luna's going to be working the pedals, and Edenor and Lycus, the two of you are strapping this vehicle up in the hitch and trying to, hoist it up to help Luna, dig in and maneuver the vehicle. I like this a lot. Okay, so
Do it.
let's do this. Let's start with Edenor and Lycus. The two of you, I need athletics checks at advantage as you are each of you roll separate.
Yep.
We'll take the average of your roll. DC you want to beat is, because you guys are going first. Actually, no, Pim is going first. Sorry. Pim, performance or persuasion, however you would like to flavor. Maybe deception if you'd really want to kind of lie to them somehow, if you can figure that out.
Aw.
You guys are
No,
doing
I think-
great.
I think
What's
this will
skills?
just be a persuasion check to keep everyone really focused on what they're doing.
Okay, go for it, Pim.
Manipulate me.
Come on, guys, we can do this. The storm's coming in fast. We gotta hurry.
And it's a 26.
26. Beautiful. With the 26, that lowers the overall DC for the rest of you guys.
Alright.
All right. So Edenor and Lycus, your athletics checks, please.
Gotcha. I'm gonna also. Well, I'm gonna roll first and then decide if I want my bardic inspiration.
I'll tell you can say a
No,
roll
I'll
before
do
you
it.
say a
I'll-
speech. Before you call a shot.
What's your bardic dice size?
D6.
Oh, I'm glad I rolled mine.
That's a very personal question, my friend.
Yeah.
Buy me dinner first, man.
Because that bardic inspiration just helped a lot.
Oh, good.
What'd you get, Ednor?
I got a 21. 6 on the bardic inspiration.
Oh,
Nice.
Nice.
21 for Edinor. All right, Marcus, what'd you get?
All right, so 13 plus 5, that's 18 plus athletics is 4, 22.
Oh, there we
very
go.
Nice,
I didn't wanna
So,
fuck with
yeah,
it.
Average of 21.
Right? I was throwing that. I was throwing that dice. I was like, you know what? We're gonna
Hell yeah.
go big.
The
Hell yeah.
DC continues to drop. All right, Luna. Let's see. Roll an Arcana.
Come on, Luna.
No more nat
24.
ones. Oh my god.
20. Arcana 24.
Nice.
24. Holy shit, you guys really fucking came
Wait,
together.
is Idris doing anything to help, or is he just
Nope.
watching?
Nope, Idris is watching. Idris and Oshara
Oh
are
god.
both watching as you guys kind of, they're about to kind of they're talking to each other. They're about to propose an idea, and they turn around, and the crew is just pulled together and just
Like a pink cruise.
with these excellent checks, right? I'm gonna say you guys managed to get this fucking thing out of here in like 20 minutes.
Nice.
Nice.
So you still have 40 minutes before the storm kind of hits.
Good work, team.
And
All
with
right.
that,
All around.
Luna, if you can give us one more Arcana check to get us back on the road here.
That is a 22.
Okay. With
All
the
right.
22, the group, and again, it's just one square over. Lycus, give us a pretty easy survival check here.
15.
15. Okay. Yep. Easily enough. You guys are able to get up ahead, back on the road, and you're pulling into the Frog Grove. As you get closer, the storm kind of bearing down, the black skies kind of looming angrily overhead. You can see the sands kind of picking up in the distance off towards the mouth of the river. The Frog Grove just barely visible through just a cascade of sand as you guys are just kind of driving into it, kind of hunkered down. There's no choice. If you want to get into the Frog Grove, you've got to go through this. But with your checks, you guys are able to kind of pull in.
Let's get the sun
wanna-
cell inside. Come on, everybody.
Well, I think at this point we'd lock her down, right? So.
Yeah.
I
So
wanna
as
park
far as
under the
places you can
cliff.
go, there are a couple of tents, right? There's the tents in the kind of the UNT area. Those, like, given the interest you guys are coming from, those would kind of be the closest. Probably not the most stable. There is also the Wild Hunt, the ship itself. You do recall the stern section of the ship is currently open air, so you can just kind of like enter in through there.
Are the sun
quick to get into
sails
the
like
ship.
semi-rigid or rigid, or are they not?
I mean, it's bounded together pretty well on the vehicle. Like you're looking at them, it's unlikely that they're going to take a whole ton of damage. They're rolled up nicely, they're furled nicely, pressed in and strapped on.
I guess as long as we
Okay.
park it like underneath the cliff where we normally put it.
Sure.
should be
Yeah, you
good.
can park her underneath the cliff and keep the sails, relatively out of the wind for the most part. And you guys make your
All
way
right.
over to. Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna head into the Wild Hunt to weather this storm. Where are you guys going?
And it's just like the wind is like really starting to come down on you.
I'm gonna go to wherever the girls are.
I'll follow you to the. I'll go to the Wild Hunt. That seems.
Ooh. Yeah.
So,
Okay.
Lycus,
Uh,
where are you going?
Where you going, Cap?
I'm gonna look over to Idris. Maybe this store would be a good time to get a little private.
I'm sorry, I can't hear you, Ollie. The wind is too loud.
Okay.
1 sec.
Never be a
Some-
good time to have a private talk.
What?
What'd you say?
I said that I look over to Idris and say maybe during the store would be a good time for a private chat.
He looks over to you and he says, "Okay, if you have something you want to talk about, certainly. We can go to my tent."
You see that his like aura, he like summoned it to wrap around his face, so like you can see through the aura, but it's still physical. So he's
Sure,
using
sure,
it as
sure.
goggles.
Yeah, he's got like kind of like a lupine
goggles.
kind of above the thing, right? Okay, nice. So yeah, there's a snake head, right, walking through the storm, and there's a wolf head walking through the storm. Edinor, you're gonna make your way up to the girls, and Pim and Luna, you guys are making your way over to the Wild Hunt. In tow with you are Ashara. I'm assuming would probably go with the two of you.
Okay.
Okay, so here's the thing. It is a sandstorm at the moment. It is blinding sand and wind just all around you, right? You've got the vehicle parked, right? But now you kind of want to navigate your way to your respective places. So we're going to have each group go separately. Okay, so you all make your ways off. So let's do a quick initiative, just to kind of see who goes first.
14? No, 13.
And what'd you get?
9.
Okay, 14 plus 9 is 23, 22. Let's call that 11. Lycus, what'd you get?
Also a 9.
Also a 9. So ahead of you at the moment are Luna and Pim. Edenor, what'd you get?
I rolled a 17.
Okay, so Edenor's going first. So Edenor, then Luna and Pim.
Ednor, as you walk away, in the sandstorm, I kind of yell at you. Tell Yoma to punch you as hard as she can and tell me how it feels later.
I don't know if I want to do that.
Just
You
Alright,
can tell
so-
her yourself.
God damn.
I'll say, everyone's going to their own places. Let's meet right after the storm ends.
Fair enough.
Sounds
I mean,
good.
depending how long it is, we could rest in between. So
What?
get some rest if you can.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Alright, so Edenor, you are making your way out into the sandstorm. It is a sandstorm. That means perception checks are a disadvantage. Okay? You are not quite sure as you kind of like get out of ways. You're not quite sure which direction. You could get very easily turned around here, right? So give me a survival check.
Okay.
Kind of keep your orientation and move in the direction you're hoping to move. Or otherwise, let's see what happens.
Survival is 16.
16 is a success. Okay. You are able to move kind of forward. Right. I'll say you're about like. We'll come back to you. We'll say you kind of spend your turn in action kind of like moving through the sandstorm.
Gotcha.
Okay. You're moving along. You're able to kind of find again like the little rock wall, and you're kind of able to duck underneath it. And kind of traveling along that, you will eventually get to the huts. Assuming you're heading to the huts, probably.
Yeah,
right?
I'm going
That's where
to.
you guys slept.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Then Edenor, that is you. Idris. No, Luna and Pim.
Can I say that based on where we parked and me knowing all directions which way it is, that I can try and point in the general direction to start walking to the wild hunt?
Sure. Yeah. You know that where you park would be like south of the wild hunt would be kind of in the south, south from it, just where it was dropped. So yeah, I'll say, the direction. I'm gonna say you guys probably try to keep to that as best you can, so advantage on the survival check.
I'm just gonna hold on to Luna's robe and hold on to our friend Ashara behind us.
Sure. You got Ashara kind of hooked up. And you're actually kind of like hooked around the crook of Ashara's elbow, who is still both hands clutching the satchel.
Okay, I rolled well. It was 17 plus 2 for 19.
19, yeah. You're walking along, and sure enough, Luna, you encounter the pylons that are holding up the wild hunt, right? You can hear the groan of the wood as the ship is getting just bombarded by sand and everything. You make it to the ship. You're able to kind of follow along the bottom and get to the back of the ship and enter in through there.
Yeah, as soon as we get to the entrance part, I'm by the entrance. I'm making sure Pim and Ashar go in.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking another view. It's now like blindingly levels of sandstorm.
Yes,
Like-
like you're looking out and you can't really see shit. Like it's just swirling milk of sand and just debris.
Then just before I enter, do I see anyone inside from the entrance?
From the entrance, no. You're looking at the back of the ship and you're just looking up to glide around for like what was once maybe like a cargo hold, right? Or maybe even some extended crew quarters. And there's just an entrance, like a door at the back there. Nothing's there. There are actually like, as you're kind of looking in, there's like a few things like kind of battened down, like tucked into the corners, but there's just the entrance to the ship, just a doorway. closed at the moment, but with a little ladder kind of hanging there, stowed away at the moment, not just kind of left out for the sandstorm. So Pim and Ashara get into the ship. We're going to say actually it's going to be an athletics check.
Oh. Okay.
How does it to get it?
Oh, how about I just jump?
Yeah, you can jump. Oh yeah, your boots.
My boots
easy
on.
peasy. So you pop right in, help Ashara up, and Luna, you said you looked around one more time?
Yeah, I was just trying to get a lay of the land. So this is by the entrance. You hop because it's like elevated from the ground, though.
Yeah, because it's held. The ship is held up on these pylons.
Oh, so it's a little okay.
So it's a little high.
I think I'll go just enough to the entrance, but I want to keep like, if this is the entrance, just remain there, and I just want to keep an eye out.
Sure, out of the wind a ways, but yeah, you just kind of, so like imagine the ship was kind of like cut in half, or the bottom is kind of like cut away. So like the room that would be is kind of like missing the back half.
Yeah.
So the door that this entrance, you're able to kind of tuck in there, and you're able to kind of just sit there for a bit, and you can stay there if you want.
You okay, Luna?
I think I'll stay here for a bit, just trying to make sure there's no one else out there.
Okay, we'll be
keep a lookout.
careful. I'll just be right in here within earshot.
All right, him and Ashara, you enter in. We'll get back to you guys in a sec. Lycus and Idris, the two of you. Hang on, let me just move my Pim and let me just move my tokens. Everybody is where they're supposed to be. Okay, Lycus, yourself and Idris are looking to make your way to Idris's tent. Okay. Perception checks are a disadvantage as you're making your way through the storm. I know you did the thing with the thing. So here's the thing. I love the flavor. I really, really do. But mechanically speaking, I can't set it. I got to set a strange precedent if I kind of allow it to kind of give any sort of banshee. You're muted, I think, by the way.
Ollie, you're muted.
I was just saying, no worries, I get it. I would literally waste an actual resource on flavor, so I don't care.
That's okay. That's okay. I won't make you
first
spend the
time.
resource on the flavor.
Won't
Don't
be the
worry. You
last.
have the flavor, right? And it's certainly, I will say, it doesn't hurt. But you know, the sandstorm is brutal, right? I will say though, Idris with the helm does actually do fairly well. It is a stone helm after all. Keeps the sand out of the eyes. And roll a survival check.
Okay. 14.
Wow. Okay. You and Idris are able to kind of make your way across the field. You know, kind of briefly, like often checking in with each other. You almost like lose sight of each other at different moments, but you are able to make it to the entrance to the tent. You get into like the small little like tent setup, right? There's 3 tents, and Idris leads you toward the center tent where you had retrieved him earlier that day. You can see it is like leaning heavy, right? The wind's kind of trying to catch it. It's like straining on the poles. But Idris kind of just opens up the flap and goes, "All right, get in, come on."
Yeah, rush in.
Yeah, the two of you are in the tent, right? The wind is muted now, beyond. And it is yourself, as you look around, it is yourself and Idris and a very panicked fucking bird who is just like, just kind of like hammering against the bars of the cage as it is pretty sure the world around it is about to break. And it is alone. No one else is in the tent.
Well, you know, I've been actually hoping to talk to you for a while, Chris.
Is that so? What's good? How can I help you? Or what do you need?
Well, I don't want it to come off as too serious. It is important to me, but it's not gonna change anything too grave. There are just some questions I want to ask you, and also I want to try and make this alliance that you and I have, not you and the Frog Grove, but you and us, make it maybe a little more official.
Okay. What do you have in mind?
My old captain, he used to do this tradition, this ritual. You, in a way, put your life in danger to promise someone truth, honesty. It's something you only do with people you have faith in. Something to prove you have faith in them. To show that you are willing to be part of the team. And it's something I was hoping I could do with you. Show you that I trust you and your people.
You have dark vision. It is dark in here, right? Mm-hmm. Just enough light, it's dim. You can kind of make out, how he's moving. You can see the tent, the sides of it rattling as it kind of shakes all around you. The poles holding it up straining. You hear the bird kind of rattling in the cage, and he just turns towards you. His right hand resting on the hilt of his blade. Looks you up and down. His face inscrutable, as behind the stone helm. And he goes, "All right. I'm interested. I get the impression, Lycus, that you are eager to make allies. And this is a really shitty circumstance that we're all in. Allies are important. In this, we agree. How does this ritual work?"
Take out your sword. Point it at me.
With pleasure. Steps forward, leans, points the blade directly at you.
I move into it just enough to bleed.
Okay.
And
I just pointed at your face, so you definitely have to kind of like...
Yeah. Like I pointed down sort of like at my neck and like walk in so it slices a little bit. And then I make claws come out for me and just kind of point it at his chest, offering him to like kind of step into it a little.
Okay. Cocks the head and he goes, "Well, tell you what. If we're going to be honest with one another," kind of moves his other hand. There's a hiss as he kind of, the helm slides, the compartment's loose, the plate's loose, and he kind of sets it down. "I'll be honest with you." And you can see now, like the actual snake head, kind of like a bush viper, the scales kind of curling up, reddish at the tips. His eyes is bright emerald green, and he steps forward. And as he steps forward, there's just like a slight flicker of the tongue as your claws pierce the fabric, and you can feel them into the skin. There's just a slight pooling of blood beneath the fabric.
With the blood, I say, this is a ritual known as the bond of truth and promise of death. With this blood, we swear to exchange everything and know everything. There's no lie that I can tell that you won't know, and vice versa. When I lie, or you lie, if you find it necessary to strike me down, even the slightest cut will be devastating. I personally promise you're safe. If there's something you don't want to tell me, I'll understand, but we might not be able to proceed, if that makes sense.
Tongue flickers. All right. After all, you are overseeing the alliance that I am trying to build. I would like to be able to trust you. And I would like for you to trust me.
With a smile. Perfect. Then, let's get down to some of these questions.
Okay, the ability activates, right? You expend the key points.
You got it.
We are going to come back to this. Edenor, you, my friend, are next in the order. You are still kind of out in the sands, right? You're still out in the storm. You had the furthest distance to travel. Okay. Roll a survival check.
Okay. That's a 6.
I don't know, you trudge through the sands. It's kind of hitting you on the side. You even kind of like stumble for a moment. You kind of get blown off course for just a moment as your frame is, large enough that you catch more wind than most people, I guess. You kind of stumble, get up from your knees, look around, and you realize, shit, that kind of sets you off. You're not totally sure where you're at anymore. You kind of continue making your way forward. Eventually, you do kind of start to, as you're moving forward, see these kind of mounds, right? And you kind of recognize them as the hut of the frog grove, of the frogs. And you step down, you kind of maneuver, you step in from the wind, right? And it goes from kind of that large blowing, and as you kind of pass the threshold, it dies. You step in, you shake the sand off, clear it from your eyes, right? You are coated in sand, just a layer of dust, fine dust all across you. And as you look up around the room, you realize you're not alone. Some others have taken shelter in here, and you look around and you can count 5 individuals, 4 goblins, and a bugbear. All look as you step in. And it is you and them in this hut.
Oh my god.
The best group.
Like John Wick stepping into a slot.
And Edenor, I'll give you the opportunity to say something as you step in, as they're all kind of like...
I picked the perfect hut, didn't I?
Cut back to Pim and Luna.
Damn it, don't kill everyone.
So,
And just as you're cutting off, you just see the sensor just
yeah.
swinging.
Okay.
Just kidding. It's a joke. It's a joke.
I was
Never
going to
know
say,
with
if we're
you.
getting...
We'll see.
There's certainly, though, just...
There's some tension. I'm still
you can't-
standing.
Yeah,
in
as soon
there.
as you look up and eye contact is made, there's immediately just like there's just the howling of the wind and the tension.
Is the bugbear the...
It's talk.
It is talk. Okay, I just want to make
It is
sure.
talk.
I was like, I hope this isn't a different bugbear.
Yeah, he's
If
like
it's a different one, I'm probably gonna kill it.
he's like
But-
hunched over, his arms kind of like dangling on the floor. His arms are really long. So he's like just kind of on his elbows, hunched over in the hut, looking over to across the Clink, the one goblin, and kind of next to Clink on that side of the hut are the 3 other goblins. And
Alright.
yeah, they all seem to be kind of like talking or something, and then as you stepped in, immediate silence, and everybody looks over as you say, "Looks like I picked the right tent." All right.
So,
This is gonna be fun.
so Luna's like, she's like just on the out, like just by the entrance. She's looking out, heart starting to race, feeling pretty nervous. Knows that going inside is the safer route, and she'll start to walk to go inside, and she'll remember that she's been in here before. So just before she officially, as she's taking that step in, it's like a cold sweat type moment going over until that foot lands. And then as she's looking around, looking at her hands, realizing nothing happened, she's like, oh, deep breath, gets composed, uses prestidigitation spell
Rusty.
to get off all the sand and stuff.
Yeah, you're covered.
And tries to find him at this point.
I'm pretty much like right inside
there.
there because I didn't want to be too far from you.
Are you okay?
It's a bad storm.
Yeah, Sure is. Can I roll insight to see if there's anything else going on in your
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a
Luna,
natural
it's up,
one. Don't worry
it's up
about
to
it.
you if you want to contest it with a roll or something.
I don't know if you heard me. It's a natural one.
Yeah, I rolled
You might roll a natural one too, right?
I rolled a 4.
Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah.
Okay.
I guess
Well,
nothing appears strange.
yeah.
I guess.
All right. Yeah, it is a nasty storm. She's like shaking out her buns and
I'll do prestidigitation on both you and Ashara as well.
thanks.
Yeah.
All right, perhaps we should take Ashara to that friend of yours.
Oh yeah, Ulrich will make you feel a lot better. He's a healer.
Okay.
Would you like to see him?
Yes, my wings. Perhaps in need of attention.
All right, well, follow me.
And I
You
take
guys-
him to Ulrich.
Sure. You make your way through the ship. As you're making your way through the ship, roll perception checks
Okay.
for us.
Yeah, checking the
What's the
what's
vibe?
everyone's reaction to the storm? Are they hunkered
Oh,
down?
you can't quite see the crew. Like you're in a hall. Like they're probably like sequestered in different places. Like
Gotcha.
as you go to different rooms around the ship, you'll run into people. Probably.
Perception is 19 for me.
19?
13 for me.
13. Okay. All right. As you guys are walking past, walking around, where you guys are at right now is the back of the ship. There's a doorway, then there's a hall. On the other side of the hall is another door. That door leads to the brig, where your prisoners are currently being kept. Right?
I know where Ulrich's room is.
You do, but this perception check, you notice something,
Oh.
actually. As you are moving, you can see there is a crack in the door, and you hear voices. You hear the voices of the Yuan-Ti prisoners, and you hear one of them say something to the effect of, is everything ready? And the other respond, as far as I know, we'll just have to wait to hear. We'll just have to wait for another update before we make our move. But
Secure all the prisoners.
you pick that up through the doorway.
Pim does, right?
Pim does. You do not.
Okay. Make
So
sure.
Ashara is kind of like sitting there waiting for you to lead Pim. What do? You do know where Ulrich's room is, though. Absolutely.
As I hear that and we're passing the brig, I motion for everyone to stop. And I listen to that conversation.
Okay. Are you going to try to stay in here for more?
Yes.
Okay, I need a
Stealth?
stealth check from all of you. So from Ashara, from Luna, and Pim.
I got a 19 for Pim.
I did not roll so high.
What'd you get?
That inspiration expired a long time ago, right?
Yeah.
Rolled a 10.
You guys are kind of going along. Pim, as you kind of lean in to kind of listen a bit more, you make the signal to stop. Ashara actually is very light individual, being a bird. Not a lot of mass to them. They're very quiet as they move. There's just the slightest scraping of the claws on the wood, but otherwise fairly quiet. Luna, as you move, you hear as the floorboard shifts beneath you. And immediately, Pim, you are aware that the conversation inside the room stops abruptly. And
Okay,
it's
I'm
silence.
gonna pull out some rations that I had from earlier,
Sure.
and I'll just be like, I'll just be 1 second, guys, purposely making sound, and I walk in and I say,
Hey folks, are you hungry?
you walk in, and the three Yuan-Ti are kind of like still chained together, and then to the bars. They look at. You can see two of them were nose to nose, right, and the third kind of close, forced to be close, but kind of leaning and just kind of hunched over. And as you walk in, they all look to you. And we're gonna come back to you guys in a bit. Idris and Lycus. The two of you are in the tent, weapons drawn, pierced into each other's chest, shedding each other's blood. And as the two of you are about to begin speaking, the storm kind of picks up. There's a large gust, and one of the panels starts to kind of flare open, and the wind is just kind of pouring into the tent and kind of circling it, swirling everything around the two of you. And the two of you are just kind of locked there, and he just kind of looks down at everything kind of going to chaos, and he looks straight at you as the wind is kind of picked up all around you, and he goes, "Well, ask your questions, I suppose."
Your organization, what is its real goal?
My organization? Do you mean the Sanguine Sodality?
Yes.
Our job is to serve the Stone Queen. We are an order dedicated to executing her will. But, for the most part, we are simply looking to make lives easier for people through our magic and technology. That is what we are about. Alliances, helping others. You. If we find a ship, if we fix the Wild Hunt, will you and your crew attempt to steal it?
Most likely, depending on whose ship it is.
You said most likely?
Most likely. Again, depending on whose ship it is.
Be Captain Hammond's ship.
Oh, I'm not gonna lie, it's crossed my mind, but he's helped my friends, the frogs, so I won't do anything rash. But maybe we'll find another ship along the way. There's a lot of goblin slavers flying around. We could relieve another one.
And we should probably check with each other. Like, is this true?
Yeah,
So
no. I 100%, like, I misheard your question. So I said, once we get it going, do I plan to steal a ship? Yes. But with the correct question, do I plan to steal Hammond's ship? I've definitely thought about it.
Okay.
But right now, I'm on the line of, I'm not going to do that. He's helped my people. It's better off if he stays friendly to the group.
And that seems genuine?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
He doesn't feel ever tingle.
As far as the first question, we'll just retroactively say it was genuine. The Sanguine Sodality, what he said about it.
Okay.
Your turn. Looks to you. I believe you.
Have complete faith in the people you serve.
Kind of holds his head high. The sand kind of swirling around you, and just for a moment you catch a glimmer in his eye as he says, "Of course I do." Roll against it.
Okay.
So it's disadvantage on the check in if he's lying. We'll have to figure out the mechanics on this cleaner as we go, but advantage for your insight check.
That's a 21.
With a 21, you can tell that you've caught him in a lie. And he takes, I believe, some damage that you roll.
That if I inflict it is the way that works. But instead of inflicting damage, I'll look at him and say, "You're lying."
And your eyes continue to kind of be locked as the tent is kind of continuing to swirl. The papers are starting to kind of flare. The bird is panicking like fucking crazy. And he says, as he kind of looks at everything going awry, he says, help me real quick. Let us at least seal this up, right? And kind of keeping the blades and everything inside each other, he's going to kind of move you towards the panel to see if you guys can fix it.
Okay.
Well, yeah, like, I guess you have more arms, but
yeah.
still.
So he's got one hand still, right? He's trying to maneuver to grab it, and you also have a hand.
Yeah, I'll spend another key point and summon my arms to just kind of make that happen.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. Awesome. So yeah, you summon your projection. It kind of emerges, and Idris is able to kind of like stamp down on one corner of a thing. Your projection is able to kind of hold down the bulk of it, and you are able to kind of, hang on to it. But the two of you are now locked, kind of like in this crouched position in front of each other, like very close, like nose to nose almost. And he says, yes, I suppose I did. And we're going to end here for today. As Lycus and Idris are locked in an intense conversation, as Edenor is surrounded by the goblins, and as Pim and Luna are confronting the prisoners who seem to be up to something.
Ole mole.
We'll find out what happens next time on Sandsea Saga, right here, Delta Crypto channel. Thank you guys for playing, and I hope you guys tune in next time. Peace.